Hey y'all, my name's Naomi and thanks so much for clicking to watch another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I've put these lock sprinkles in my hair. So if you're interested in that, then go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so jumping right into it, I did the back portion of my hair off camera because I wanted to make sure that I was doing it right. I wanted to make sure that it looked right, but I was coming on here to show you guys how I do the front half of my hair. So I'm doing, like I said, I finished the back half, so I'm doing the front half now, and I finally found a method that works for me, so I'm going to show you guys. But let me put this back in a ponytail and show you guys what I'm using. So I'm using just some black thread. So just some black thread is what you need, or any color. So if your hair is like red, or if your hair is blue, pink, maroon, like honey gold, then you could just use a type of, or the color thread that goes best with your hair. And then I'm using these beads that I got from Hobby Lobby. So this is how the beads actually look. They come in a package like this. And for size, these are 4 millimeters. So it's a 4 millimeters and it's 135 pieces. This is how it looks. And it was $4.99 at Hobby Lobby. And I was able to use a 40% off coupon. So it came down to like $3.50. So super, super cheap. Again, these are how the beads look up close. And then this is how they look in my hair. So they're not that big. At first, I thought they were big looking at them in the box, but they're actually not that big when you put them on your hair. So I have my thread, I have my beads, and then I'm also using some scissors just to cut the thread when I'm done putting the lock beads in my hair. And then the last thing you will need is a needle. So you just need a needle to thread it through. So once you have all that, I went ahead and cut a pretty long piece of string, like black string thread, same thing. So I went ahead and cut a pretty long piece of thread, and then I'm gonna go ahead and thread my needle real quick. I got it. All right, so I'm just gonna pull that string. Hopefully you guys can see it because it's black, but I'm just gonna pull that string all the way through to where it's even on both ends. So I made this string pretty long, so I'm pulling it through. And now I'm at the end. So here's the end of my string, like that. And then make sure it's even. Okay, now it's even. And now that I have the two pieces even like that, this is the way I tie a knot, just to make sure it's knotted at the end. So I just kind of make the string wet, and then I'll put it around this finger like this, and then I'll rub down the thread. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm like rubbing it down, and then I'm just gonna pull on it like that. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm going to wrap it around my finger, kind of push it down my thumb like that, and then pull it. So I'm gonna do it one more time. Wrap it around, pull it down a little bit, and then like that. So you should have a little ball like that at the end of the string. You can make it bigger if you think that it will go through your lock, but I'm just making it as big as I need to where I know that it won't pull through my lock. So once I have that, I'm gonna go back to the needle portion. Like I said, it's a long string, so not on that end, needle on this end. And now this is where I find where I want to put the lock sprinkle. So I haven't really been following like a particular pattern or anything. I've been, at first in the back, I was doing like every other. And then I'm like, okay, that's too much. So then I started skipping a row and then doing every other. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. But I feel like for the front half, I'm just going to do it sporadically. And I didn't wet my hair or anything like that, just because I'm not really manipulating my actual hair. I'm just working with the ends of my hair. So I think I'm gonna put one on this one just because it's in the middle. So I chose this lock. So once you choose the lock that you have, I feel like you should want to focus on locks where the end of your locks is already actually locked, if that makes sense. So you don't want to choose like a lock where your ends aren't completely locked yet. So if you're super early in your journey and you're looking to put lock sprinkles in your hair, it might be a little bit harder for you because your ends might not necessarily be as locked as they should be. Or if you have, I feel like if you did maybe like lock extensions, you should be perfectly fine because the hair already comes locked. Or if you did instant locks, of course your hair is already locked, so you should be just fine to go ahead and put these in your hair. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I do it. So I'm taking the needled end right here, and then I'm gonna stick it straight down my lock. So I'm going about right here, and I'm entering down the lock like that, and I'm coming straight out of the bottom. So straight out of the bottom like that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull the string all the way through until that little ball at the end stops me. So I'm pulling it. I'm not pulling it too tight, but I'm pulling it through to make sure that it stopped. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of my beads. And I found that for me, it's best to keep it like in the packaging and just kind of like scoop the bead up like that, because I've been doing this for a little while and I've stuck myself like a bunch of times. So you don't want to do that. The bead, just like that, and I put it right through that needle, just like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bead. So here's the bead, and I'm gonna pull the bead all the way up, to my lock. And I want to make sure it hits right at the end. So right at the end of my lock like that. So once I have that there, I'm gonna hold it, and I'm gonna take the needled end and enter through the bottom of my lock this way. It's okay if it drops just a little bit. You don't want it to go all the way down, but I'm just gonna enter through the bottom and then come up kind of where I entered it, if you can remember. And then I'm gonna pull the string through, and I'm also keeping an eye on where that bead is. So sometimes I hold the bead too, just to make sure that it ends up in the right place. But I'm gonna pull the needle all the way through just like that. And then I'm making sure to stop right at the end of my lock. So now this is pulled pretty tight. Like I said, not too tight, but this is how I wanted to end up, which was like at the very, very end of my lock. So hopefully you guys can see that. So I'm pulling that through, and then I'm gonna go right back in to the top, well not the top, but like to the bottom, and I'm gonna pull, or I'm sorry, I'm gonna come in at the same place where I just came out of, and then pull it through the bottom of my lock. And I do this, I think I've been doing this about like 3 times, not too many times. I got faster the more I kept doing it, but I'm pulling that through, and again, I'm pulling it just to make sure that it's tight. And then I'm gonna go back up the lock like that. And then pull it through. And then I'm gonna do this one more time. And again, be careful because of course the needle is sharp. I'm gonna go back in and then go out the bottom of lock and then pull through. Just like that. So once that's nice and tight and secured, and again, it's still at the bottom, very bottom of my lock, which is where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab those scissors, and then I'm cutting close, like I'm not cutting right at it, but I'm cutting pretty close to where that string ends, like that. And then I'm gonna set this aside because you can still use the string, and this is how it looks. So just like that, it's at the very, very bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one and go right down to the bottom of my lock, like that. Pull that needle through, like that. And then I'm gonna pick up my bead. Okay, got my bead threaded on that needle, and I'm just gonna pull that straight up to the bottom of my lock, like that. That's where I want it to be. And then I'm gonna go through the bottom of my lock, like this. and then pull the needle through again. Like I said, it's okay if that bead drops just like it did. Just make sure that it doesn't go all the way down, which is what it just did. But that's fine too, because I can still find it. It's just dangling right here. I can still find it and then just pull it through. You're really just guiding the bead to the very end of your lock. That's all you really want to make sure. So I'm just pulling that, and there it is at the very bottom. And then I secure it. So I'm just gonna go in a couple more times. So right at that same place that I entered, just gonna go straight through to the bottom, pull my needle through, pull it tight, and then go up through the bottom, pull that needle through, and then pull it tight again. And then I'm gonna go down one more time, like that, pull the needle through one more time, and then pull it tight. And there you go. And then after I pull it tight enough, go ahead and cut it. And then set that needle and string aside so you can use it for your next one. And then there she goes. So it's at the very, very bottom. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my hair. Again, I like how this is turning out so far. I think it's so cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my hair and come right back. All right guys, I am back. So my whole head, well, not the entire head, but what I'm going to do to my head is done, and I really, really like how they turned out. Of course, this is my hair just washed. I just washed it yesterday, and it's not been retwisted. I'm gonna retwist it this weekend. So stay tuned to how my, what'll that be, my 14th month lock date, when it comes out, I'll have my hair retwisted. So tune back in if you wanna see how my hair looks neat. But I actually really like this. Like, I think it adds just a little razzle dazzle. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a 360 of how it looks. So here's the side, like this. Let me scoot out a little bit. And then here's the back. And then the other side, you guys can see that. And then we're back to the front. So, oh, I love how this turned out. It is so, so cute. But yeah, that is how my lock sprinkles turned out. If you're thinking about putting lock sprinkles in your hair, then go ahead and comment down below. But other than that, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks so much again for watching another video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.